YouTube, how's it going? John here at Herman Woodworks, and going to do the second part in a series kind of going over jointing long boards. In the first one I explained, I'm getting all these long boards ready for tongue and groove. First one, did a router. Now it's actually, let's bust out the joiner for some of these boards that are a little more true and go over this guy. All right, so been a busy beaver. This stack is already done. I got a board here I'm ready to do. Still got 50 or so odd boards. So first things third, let's go over this. Ridgid 6-inch joiner. I think brand new at Home Depot, and they're like maybe up to like $7.99 or something. I got mine used a couple of years ago for $300. Surface was rusty, prepped it, cleaned it, and thing's been a dream for me. I don't even think I've had to sharpen the blades yet. That will do soon, because especially after this project. So, if you have a long bed plane or joiner, this setup here is not going to apply to you. But for me, these things aren't incredibly long. I want to say it's maybe 48 or so odd inches from end to end. So we're going to go over this little setup I got going on here and joining these boards. All right, so I got a 12-foot board on here just so I can show exactly what we got going on. So right now I have this thing set up taking about 3/16 off at a time. So, you know, this is a plane here on this edge and then a plane here. These rollers are set up to match this plane. Those rollers are set up to match this plane. So when the board rolls in on this end, when the board's coming out on that end, it matches those. I'm going to drop in here just so you can kind of get a better visualization of what we got going on. So that side, you can see the board is hitting the rollers, hitting the bed. And then here you can see about the 3/16 gap. And then I have it matching on these rollers here. Very important. You don't want to set these all up on the same plane, because then you're not taking any wood off. So let's get a board on there and chip some wood. All right, so before I start, actually, let me put a little disclaimer here. When you're going with the boards here, you're going to want to pick your straightest edge. Because like I said, on these for the tongue and groove, then when I take the second edge off, I'm going to be putting it on the table saw and zipping it off at a set width. So this is going to be this edge. This is pretty much about my straightest. We're going to put it on here. Hopefully, the reason I'm taking a whole 3/16 off at a time, or the first pass, is hopefully I only need to do one pass. If you have it set really low, you might have to make a whole bunch of passes, and I don't feel like wasting all that time. So let's get this board on here and chip. Presto, changeo, bingo, boingo. Nice straight edge. All right, so just wanted to go over a couple things really quick here. This thing's one pass was all it needed. just want to mention a couple things here, or at least one. Once you start passing that board through, if my finger would focus, and once you start passing that board through, you want to keep all your pressure that you're pushing on the board over on this side. Because imagine it basically like what I was showing here, kind of almost like a teeter-totter, this being the pivot point. Once it's cutting and going through, if you press back down on this side, you're changing the pivot point. So you need to keep all your pressure on this side as you're pushing. If you drop it down on this side, like I said, bad things, you're not going to get the results you want. Just to show that it's nice and straight, and I kind of did this in the other video. Let's go over and check this thing. I'm going to reference on a board on the wall here. All right. So this is kind of my reference wall. Every once in a while, check your boards. Goody gumdrops. Another quick reference, maybe it's OCD on my part, is when you're stacking them, is I pretty much just put them all right on the edge. So if you start noticing one being not matching like the others, then it's time to check your setup. All right, YouTube, I got a bunch of boards to cruise through here. It's already super late. If you could tell in the video, got the garage door open. It's nice and cool, 50 degrees outside, 53-ish. Loving it. Joints are moving a little bit more free, so I'm ready to do some woodworking here. So as always, it's been awesome. If you guys are new while you're here, please subscribe, and I will talk to everyone again soon.